Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the last Sunday in November. It's the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I hope everyone's having a great weekend, had a good holiday week if you're in the US. Yeah, so how's everyone? Awesome, that's really good to hear. I'm sorry there was not a video last week. Oh, and I love something. I really didn't accomplish a whole lot. I'm gonna talk while I grab this. Okay. I really didn't accomplish a whole lot. It was one of those weeks where I just didn't get much done, and then Pokemon came out, and I really didn't get much done. So, versus doing just a short, small, what probably would have amounted to a 5-minute video, I opted to just wait for a week because I knew I was going to have a lot of haul and it was going to be a nice big supersize video. So I hope that's okay with everybody. All right, let's see. So let's dive in. There's not a lot of Q&A this week, but that's okay because we've got more than enough haul to make up for that. Let's see, Tammy Sangster asks, says, I'm using Weeks Dye Works threads on a project currently, and I'm having a problem with them breaking. Do you have any tips to prevent that? With Weeks, you can use beeswax. That'll help a little bit. Weeks, and it really depends on, really depends on which color it is. Some of them are, I've never really had them break, but I've had them be real bad to knot on me. Their blues tend to be worse than the other colors in that regard. But with breaking, that's going to be a tension thing. So be a little more gentle when you're pulling through, and that'll help. Jessica Stitching and Mo. What is Nano Stitch Mo? I've heard of Nano Remo. Are they the same idea? They're similar. It's an event we do in Mania. It runs all of November. And the idea, you know, in Nano Remo, the goal is to do 50,000, or have a 50,000 word novella by the end of it. So we built it around a basis of 50. So you stitch on a project maybe for 50 minutes. Or you work on 5 projects for 10 minutes, or you do 50 stitches in a project a day, or something along that lines. With Longfellow, it was easy to pick out 50 stitches because it was letters. This one was a little bit easier to pick a section, although sometimes there was probably more than 50. So, much like any of our other Sals in Mania, it's however you want to tailor it to you, but that's kind of the goal. Jasmine Ravenclaw asks, what is your all-time favorite cross-stitch pattern that you stitched? Are you thinking of sharing your conversion for Giant Harry Potter? I would buy that in a second. Okay, well, first question. My all-time favorite project that I've stitched, changes pretty often. It seems to be whatever I'm working on that moment is probably my all-time favorite. I think, though, if I really had to pick one, it would be Longfellow's Round Tower. I think that one's probably my absolute favorite. Until next week when I work on something different. To answer your second question, no. That's, for one, that would be a big breaking of copyright with Cloud's Factory, so that's a big no-no there. For another, I put a lot of effort and thought into my designs, especially, or my revisions, especially like the Night Bus took me, I think, 3 months to finally get a version of it that I liked. So I put a lot of work and myself into it. So I don't really like sharing them in that regard. Now, if you see something I've done and you want to copy it and you want to blow the image up and look at it as many times, that's fine. That's up to you. You know, if you want to ask me, hey, what color did you use for that? Sure, if I can figure out what color I used, I will, because I'm not keeping any kind of notes on this. I'm just sort of going as I go. But by and large, no. I encourage you to, if you like an idea, take mine, tweak it, make it your own. Use it outright if you like, but I'm not going to just hand those tools to you. Right. Faith Fan, what is your favorite Pokemon? Would you ever stitch a Pokemon pattern? My favorite Pokemon is a toss-up between Pikachu. I know, it's stereotypical. I know, he's probably my favorite, and then but I also really love all three of the ghosts, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. I really like Tangela. Farfetch'd, because he carries a leek, which entertains me immensely. And I got really excited when I saw a Farfetch'd in the wild and a Mr. Mime in the wild. So I'm not necessarily sure those are definitely like favorites of mine, but ones I got really excited to see in the wild. And side note, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I did finish everything but Mewtwo last night. I've got to level up some more before I can do that. Probably my favorite game in the series. Also, if you need to trade with someone for evolution reasons, or I've got all the ones that were essentially version exclusives except for Staryu. I need a Staryu still. Actually, two, because I need a Staryu, and then I can evolve to a Starmie. Because I'm one of those, I like to have one of each. But if you need a version exclusive or anything like that, let me know, and I will be happy to trade back if you're needing one for evolutionary reasons. So, just let me know. Let's see, Christine, every stitch a pleasure. That's a really good note about 123 Stitch and Picture This Plus. I did not know that, so thank you for that. Christy Donay, I answered the Nano Stitch Mo, so hopefully you got that. Ivy Kruger, if you're stitching summer patchwork, are you stitching the rest of the seasons, or are there no other seasons? From what I can tell, there are no other seasons. It's just the summer one, which makes me a little sad because I'd like to see more, but by the same token, that's probably a good thing because God knows I don't need another series started. He says as he gets ready to show you his haul. Welcome to my world. Okay, so some of this is a mixture of my nest egg and I've got them separated. I've got my nest egg from Trisha. I've got a grab bag from Trisha to show off. And then I've got my haul from going Black Friday shopping at Stitch Niche, which is always a good time. All right, so without further ado, and I've got a nice piece of white paper here so I can make it easier to see. All right, so we've got my grab bag my nest egg is the Gentle Arts. These are in no particular order. But we've got, let's see, maybe if I dim this a little, there we go, that's better. So we've got Huckleberry, Jasmine, and Kiwi. I will be organizing these once I'm done working on one of the things I'm working on today. We've got Lexington Green, Lemon Drops, and Lagoon, which is significantly more blue than it's showing up here. And then we've got Hyacinth, Liberty, Lavender Potpourri, and Lamb's Wool. So kind of a eclectic shading group this time. Here they are, kind of all in full. Last time it was a really like well put together palette. And she goes alphabetically, so it's not like she can't pick color palettes. That's not what I mean by that, but this one's a little more hodgepodgey. Alright, so then I got a grab bag, which I forget what the specifications on the grab bag were. I think it's a mix of 5 and 10 yard skeins. So, unfortunately, the 5 yards were colors I didn't have, or the 10 yards were colors I didn't have. Well, one of them I had, but... So I got 3 10-yard skeins. I got Daisy, Dried Thyme, and Melon Patch. And then in the 2 5-yard skeins, Brandy and Brick Path. Then I got some weeks. We've got Daffodil, Blue Coat Red, and Brick. I got 3 classic color works. There's Blacksmith Blue, Caramel, and Colonial Copper. And then I got a Threadworks. This is Berry Nice. And a Water Lilies in Appalachia, which is a really pretty blue-purple. So it was a fabulous grab bag, and I forget what they cost. I think they're like 20, maybe. Totally worth it. Totally, totally worth it. Let me see if I can find the... later. Remind me later. They're in her Etsy shop. Favorites. Shops. 3L threads. She may have sold out of them. Oh, the grab bags are $28. And you get 12 skeins of just assorted, and then 1 skein of either Dinky Dye or a Karen, or a Water Lilies. Yes, so, and it was completely and totally worth it. The retail price is between $33 and $36, so you're getting a pretty decent discount. And who doesn't love a surprise? I love a surprise, or at least a surprise like that. Alright, so, yesterday I went to Stitch Niche, and I picked up some stuff. I got this year's 2018 holiday ornament, which sold fast. So I have all of the ornaments since they started doing it. And unfortunately, there's not a finished picture of the ornament, but it is a kit. But it's got a... Sorry, I'm going to have to show you the pattern on this one. And I can't make it much better than that. But basically, it's a cardinal sitting on a branch with an ornament under it. So, and it comes with all the fabric and all that. I have yet to stitch any of the pattern, the ornaments, but I have them all so that I can when I eventually decide to. Then I got Jenny Bean Halloween from Shepherd's Peddler. This was special ordered for me. Here, let me see if I do that. Does that makes it a little better. And it says, when I am dead and in my grave and all my bones are rotten, if this you see, pray, think of me, or I will be forgotten. And I just thought it was kind of fun. Unfortunately, it was done with when it first came out, I guess it came with some limited edition Gentle Arts threads that aren't available anymore. So if anyone has the thread pack and doesn't want it, or if anyone has extras or leftovers, please let me know. Because the colors are fun names, like Parched Bones, Nightmare, Coffin Lid, Sarcophagus, Dried Blood, Burial Ground, Witch's Wart, Zombie Flesh, and Swamp Water. And I have heard that some of the colors were introduced into the main line, but I don't recognize those names at all. So if they were introduced to the main line as an actual, like... oh, pardon me. Like with a different name, please let me know. Because I may have it, or I can easily get it. Or if you have it and can offer color comparisons, I'd appreciate that.
You okay?
Yeah, I just sneezed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounded like someone hacking their lungs out.
Nope, I was just sneezy.
Alright, well, you have a Phoebe.
Apparently I have a Phoebe with me. She's probably gonna go hide under the bed. She likes hanging out under there. Okay, so moving right along. Then I got fabric and threads for the first 2 months of it. Here I am with a series, yay! Hands-on Designs, A Year of Celebrations. And they released them all, and they even did Canadian versions of July and November, which I thought was kind of cool. So I bought the stuff to do January and February. There we go, but aren't those cool? I like them a lot. Although I do believe there may be a slight typo, because it mentions that there's Weeks Dye Works Acorn, but there's not an acorn in Weeks Dye Works. There is in Gentle Arts, though. So if someone who has stitched these knows for sure, that would be terrific. I have not checked the website to see if maybe they issued a correction there. But they included one that says the first printing left off some colors, but who knows. So I bought that. I got Rosewood Manors and A Garden Grew. And actually what I'm going to do for that is, and I'll explain a little bit later, but the fabric that I got for Anniversaries of the Heart, I'm not enjoying stitching that on that fabric. And I think it's because I don't do, for one, I'm using overdyed, so it's all individual crosses. It's small, so I'm having to focus a little harder. And it's a lot of solid fill, which is not my favorite thing. However, this is not a lot of that. And I enjoyed doing 36 on, like, Paradise Lost, when I'm not having to do solid fill. And I enjoyed it on the Lizzie Kate that I did, and I enjoyed it on, well, technically I think that was 35 count, but on Poe. So I think it's just the fact that it's not the right pattern for me to be doing on that small account. So I'm going to do this instead. And it's DMC. I'm probably just going to pick my own colors as I go, if I'm totally honest. But we'll see. I haven't made up my mind yet. But I bought And a Garden Grew. I also got Christmas quilts, because I liked it. I got Jeffrey's Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. I liked it because this one, he's a shepherd, but he looks more like a wizard, because he's got a wizard hat and a cape. So instead of saying Shepherd's Watched, I'm going to put it as Wizard's Watched. Yes. Yeah. So that's going to be, but that'll be a start next year. And then I got 2 Waxing Moon designs. I got Search the Sky. And it says, may you never be too grown up to search the sky on Christmas Eve. And I bought, I think, one of the... No, I guess I didn't. I think I either decided I had them all or I had something similar that I could sub. And then I bought Winter Sampler. And I did buy 3 of the colors that I didn't have for that. Although I very likely will do some substitution as well. So I bought 2 Gentle Arts that I needed. Nutmeg and Fudge Ripple. Then I bought a couple other weeks dye works. So I bought Absinthe, Pumpkin, and Blue Coat Blue. And I bought Red Pear and Santorini. Then I got fabric. I got Ale by Picture This Plus for the year-end celebrations. So I got enough fabric to do the first 2. And then for Swan Lake by Anniversaries of the Heart, I decided, instead of doing it all on one, instead I think I'm actually going to try to focus on doing them all individually. That way they can sort of be maybe framed and changed out by season. So I got Icon from Picture This Plus. Both of these are 32 count linens. And then last but not least, I got a blue Krennic. It's royal blue. I also got a silver Krennic, but it didn't make it into the bag. It's somewhere elsewhere. And that's going to be for the spider web in Garden Grew, because there's a spider web there. Be damned if I could find it, though, until I pulled out the chart and really looked at the actual pattern. But I needed this for Giant Harry Potter for the border, because I did not have a blue that worked. Everything was either too turquoise or, like, navy blue. So, that was the haul. Now I'm going to take a drink, and we'll launch into whips. Okay. So, I finished my stocking, or the first stocking. Again, I left name off because that seems a little silly. I may go back later and put the name in, but is all done otherwise. So there it is. So I finished this up on Veterans Day. Actually, I may have even finished it on Sunday before. Alright. So that is done. Done, 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 done. Until my next stocking. Okay. Then I did a new start, although I haven't done much on it. So I started the Nutcracker by Soda Stitch. And I'm doing it on Christmas in Williamsburg in the Gold Opal by Under the Sea Fabrics. There I am. The castle, and you can't really tell it, is done in the Etoile. So, I'm using a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe needle minder. So, that's what I've got on it so far. So, now that I've finished Pokemon, I'll be doing significantly more stitching again. Alright. And then for the biggie. Giant Harry Potter. I'm almost done with the border. I have enough fabric for it. Yay! So I'm going to do the blue metallic here, and then I've got my bronze here, and then I'm going to come over and start my yellow corner. So my plan is I'm going to just finish the border, and then I will move on to something else. What? I do not know. But we will see. So... anyhow, I guess that's it for me for today. I hope everyone has a terrific week, and I will see you all in December.